Welcome to today's show. I'm Doreen Buchanan and this is Flourishing Hub. Flourishing Hub is a show that airs every Monday from 8 p.m. to 9 p.m. And today we are going to discuss the importance of mentoring. Let me ask you, do you have a mentor? Is it something you've considered? Is this something you've actually put your energy to? Because a mentor can take you a long way. And with us today we have our two precious guests who are going to take us through the nitty-gritty of mentorship. Jesse Ayinembuyina and Herbert. Jesse, just say something small to the viewers.
Good evening, viewers. I'm delighted to be on the show this evening. My name is Jesse Ayinembuyina. I'm an entrepreneur, a speaker, and a trainer. I empower people in different areas, in public speaking, in leadership, in sales, in customer service. All this I do with a vision and the purpose of helping people to become a better version of themselves. I have personally had the privilege to mentor people, but also to be mentored. And on this show, I'm delighted to share perspectives from my own journey of leadership, of learning, of mentorship, to enrich our learning experience. So looking forward to engaging and interacting with you on this precious program with Doreen.
The experience in the room, guys. Experience! Herbert, say something to the viewers.
Yeah, good evening, viewers. I'm always delighted to be here on the show, Flourishing Hub. My name is Herbert Sabit, the founder of Young and Flourishing Foundation, where we take mentorship serious pillar in our program. Thank you, Doreen, for hosting me.
Thank you for coming.
Yeah.
And look, Jesse, who is a mentor? What is mentorship?
Mentorship is when a more experienced person holds the hand of a less experienced person.
Okay.
In anything. It could be in life matters, it could be in marriage, it could be in business. It's about a more experienced person helping a less experienced person.
Okay.
Please note that I did not say an older person. Because
yes,
a young person might have more experience in something. Take for example today, a young person might be able to mentor an older person. When we went into a lockdown and everything went online, younger people knew how to navigate some of the basics of online meetings, so they were able to mentor the older people. Much as the older people are older, the younger person has more experience in social media, so they can mentor an older person because the younger person has more experience in this particular industry. So mentorship is all about a more experienced person holding the hand of a less experienced person.
Okay, so it's through sharing experiences, how things are done or how they can be done.
Yes.
And all that. Herbert, you talked about mentorship and how it's one of your area of focus at Ridgeline.
Yes. And Young and Flourishing.
And Young and Flourishing.
Yes.
What's the reception like for, to the people you mentor? What's the reception towards the mentorship?
Especially the youth out there, you see, a mentor, mostly he or she has less time. So I normally tell the young people out there that if you have to make sure that a mentor gets a reason for you to be a part of their lives. So young people, I see even in the church settings, they say, you should go and mentor this person, you should go and mentor this person. But in my perspective, a mentee is the one who is supposed to look for a mentor, not vice versa. Not just bringing me his son and say, you go to Herbert and he will mentor you. That person might be bored. So I encourage younger people to always go and seek for mentors, but also they have to prepare to get something from the mentor. Otherwise the mentor will see, this guy is wasting my time, he's not growing. A mentor always wants to see progress from the mentee.
So what I'm hearing you say, it comes from a need.
Yes.
From the person who wants to be mentored.
Yes.
We don't impose mentorship.
No.
It's I request for it.
Yeah, you should.
So in that case, how do we know? Maybe Jesse can answer this. How do we? What is one way someone could? What are some of the things someone can consider as they're looking for a mentor?
Okay. when looking for a mentor, to begin with, like we said, it's about experience sharing. So you have to go looking for someone who has what you need. You cannot ask a doctor to mentor you when you want to become a lawyer. It does not work like that. You will find a lawyer to mentor you to become a lawyer. You will find a doctor to mentor you to become a doctor. So mentorship is more about experience sharing. So the first place to begin is to look for someone who has got what you are looking for. Someone who is where you want to be in life. It can be in any part of life, but this particular area that you're seeking mentorship in, the person should have experience in it, because mentorship is more about experience sharing.
Okay.
So the first thing to consider is, does the person have the thing I'm looking for?
Yeah.
The second thing is the person available? Because it's about sharing experience. For you to share experience, you have to be available. It may be physically, it may be online, but whichever the case, there has got to be availability. You cannot mentor someone when you're not there. Then it ceases to be mentorship. It becomes like an oxymoron. An oxymoron is when you have two opposites. You know, you cannot say I'm sharing experience and yet you're not available.
Yeah.
It does not work. So availability, experience, but also values. The person should have the values that you aspire to have, because naturally when you spend time with people, you naturally begin to catch certain things about them. So be sure that the person that is mentoring you is someone that is going to mentor you with the right values. If you value if you honor the value of integrity, and someone is mentoring you and is saying it's okay to cut corners as long as you make the money,
Yeah.
the end will justify the means. So if someone believes in that, you are at risk of catching that, because it's counter to the values that you aspire. So it should be someone with the values that you uphold. Yeah.
So I've heard you mention 3 outstanding things. One is, does the person have experience in that I want to learn? But then and then also availability, as well as values. But then also, I'm thinking with the first point of, does the person have the experience in what I want? That means I need, first of all, know what I want.
Absolutely.
You get? I think often at times, young people just look for mentors without not necessarily knowing what they want.
Yes.
You know, and as a result, it can, you know, it ends up being unproductive.
Very true.
But then also, how about in an era of social media, YouTube, I can go on YouTube and learn. I can go on YouTube and get a story in a specific area. A mentor is really necessary.
Oh yes, the physical mentors are very necessary. As well as you can teach yourself, that's not mentorship, it's learning. But physical mentors are necessary because there's what we call accountability. When you are watching on YouTube, that person will not ask you how far you have you gone. So if I give you, if you meet a mentor and he gives you an assignment, then the next meeting you start where you started from. During lockdown, I tried to download some videos for aerobics, but I started with vigor on day 1, day 2, day 3. I just because I had no one to push me, I just gave up. So you need a physical mentor for accountability purposes.
Right. A physical mentor for accountability purposes.
But also, Doreen, I have also realized that young people, they point at you, and most of them have done. I said, no, I'm not your mentor. Someone said, they say, this guy, I aspire to be like him, so he's my mentor. That I'm mentoring them indirectly. No, that's not mentorship. It's something else. Maybe just can give us a term.
It's inspiration?
But it's not mentorship. Mentorship is interaction. You, like I said, a mentor is available for you, and you are on the journey to becoming like him or better than him. Actually, a very good mentor takes you through that journey to be better than him.
Yeah. So what I'm hearing you say is, it's not about me watching someone and them inspiring me, and I feel like they are mentoring me, I'm learning from them. I need to make the extra step, walk up to them, let them know my need, let them know our different schedules in case they accept to take me on, agree to have accountability, and then we can move on.
Yeah, sure.
So mentorship, for us to have a mentorship relationship, we need to discuss it, have an understanding of it.
Yes.
So what does it take for someone to be a mentor? Jesse?
Well, for someone to be a mentor, first of all, you have to be willing.
Willing to mentor
Willing to
someone.
mentor. Because you cannot mentor someone if really you're not interested in their growth.
Okay.
So first you have to be willing. You have to have the desire to add value to the person. You have to have the willingness to give back. You have to be willing to share freely without holding back, whether it is successes or struggles. Because sometimes we learn more from our own struggles and challenges. Sometimes when we share our struggles, then we show the other person that I am human just like you. So willingness to share, willingness to be vulnerable, I think that's what it takes, because human beings, we are not perfect. So when you share your own experience, you're going to share the high points but also the low points. And then you want the best for this person, so you really have to soberly focus on their growth.
Yeah.
You want to tell them the truth. In case you notice that there is something that this person needs to do better, as a mentor, it's only good and fair that you tell the person. So you have to be really committed and interested in the person that has come to you for mentorship. So as long as you're willing and you're willing to share, you're vulnerable, you're interested in their growth, I think that's what it takes to be a mentor.
Yeah. So that means then the ball doesn't fall 100% on the mentee.
Yeah.
Since earlier we mentioned that they have to look for the mentors.
Yes.
So that means even the mentor can follow up on me.
Absolutely.
Doreen, I just love teachers. Whether nursery
Yes.
teachers, secondary teachers, they bring themselves down to the young people. They think like them. So if you are a mentor and you are not ready to humble yourself, because that person still wants to learn from you. So if you think that person is up there with you, or you are impatient with that person, you will give up. By the way, I must confess that I'm an impatient person, but when I started mentoring youth, I found that I will not mentor, because these youth, they need patience. You tell him to do A and he will do B. My child, when we had started school, you tell him 1 + 1 is 2. Then you ask him 1 + 1 is what? You tell it is 3 or 4. So I think a good mentor has to be patient with the mentee.
Yeah. If you're just joining us, this is Flourishing Hub, which is a show that airs every Monday from 8 p.m. to 9 p.m. It is a show centered around, different discussions that help us empower people out there, especially young people, for you to be the best version of yourself. Today we're discussing mentorship. Who is a mentor? How do I get a mentor? What does mentorship even mean? The general picture of mentorship. And we're blessed to have 2 people with us who are going to keep enlightening us on the same topic. So Herbert, where do we find mentors? Someone out there feels they want a mentor.
The mentors are all over, but in Africa and in Uganda in particular, I call upon people who have experience. Please don't be selfish, and also have time, because we are making ourselves so busy chasing the wind and not trying to touch someone's hand. These generations need you people who have already gone through what they are going to go through. The mistakes you have made, really our young people out there should not do the same mistakes. At least let them do advanced mistakes. Let them do advanced mistakes. But mentors are all over in your areas, in churches, in Rotary, in Lions, in the marketplace, in the neighborhood, the parents. they are there. In my book, Young and Flourishing, I talk about how my grandmother mentored me, and I am who I am because of my grandmother. I think also parents, we need to take that serious journey to mentor our young ones. You know, it is hard for, I can go and mentor 1,000 million of people out there, and I forget my family, which is very sad. So parents out there, they are also mentors. Please mentor your young ones. And also, I said that the mentees are supposed to look for mentors, but when someone is still young, you can always interest him or her to someone, and later that person can get interested.
Yeah.
The thing I normally talk about is getting interest from the mentee, otherwise the mentor will give up. Yeah, some mentors are there. They are there, but I call upon them to be available.
Available.
Yes, availability is very important. It's biblical that you receive what you give. So the more you give, the more you receive.
Yeah.
So it's not about money or giving property, but also knowledge and wisdom. If you give your time to work with someone, God will bless you and you receive back. Yeah.
Just as someone who mentioned that you have experience in mentorship, what has been your experience with the young people that you have mentored? How have they, because some people, young people in this generation get bored quickly, and they have many ideas, they're very fast, they just have a lot going on. How have you managed to keep them in check, to maintain this relationship from one step and see success in them?
Okay, I like the word that you used there, maintaining this relationship, because mentorship is a relationship. It's a mentoring relationship. And in every relationship, the parties involved, in this case the mentor and the mentee, both have a role to play. It becomes ineffective if one person plays their role and the other does not honor their part.
Exactly.
So it's got to be two-way. While the mentor does this, the mentee must do certain things. I've had mentoring relationships that have worked so well. Why? Because both of us did our role. We made time to meet, we shared experience, we agreed on certain action points, and they were implemented. We checked, there was accountability, and we saw results at the end of this process. I have also had mentoring relationships that did not take off. Why? Because while I was interested in it, the other person was not really interested in it. And I think that we must draw the line between interest and commitment. While the mentor really wants you to succeed, they cannot succeed for you. You have a role to play.
Yeah.
So while the mentor is there to share their experience and guide you where possible, the mentee must recognize that they have their own role to play. And if they don't play that role, no matter how much the mentor really wants you to succeed, it will not work, because nothing happens until something is done. So if the mentee does not honor their part, it will not work out. So in my own experience, sometimes people, like you have said, they get bored quickly. They don't prioritize this important commitment. They don't make the time. They become too busy. And then when I sense that, I think for me, those are the telltale signs that it's time to let go. Because you cannot mentor someone who is not willing.
So how do you let go? Do you tell them, I'm sorry, it's not you, it's me, we have to break up? How do you dissolve the
You just have to be open and honest and say, look, I think it's not working out the way we think it should be working out. Whenever you're ready, let me know. Yeah, because we cannot waste each other's time. I think time is so precious. I can only invest time in something that is going to be worth it. So if I sense that there is a bit of a drag, if I sense that the person is not really into this, it is only honest and fair to call him or her out and say, look, I think there is something we need to do here. Yeah.
So throughout this whole conversation, Jesse has mentioned that nothing happens until something is done. So if you want quality mentorship, a quality mentorship relationship, it requires your input. Don't let your mentor drag you. They also have other things to do. You have things to do. So it's only prudent for both of you to create time and be accountable to one another, and also really just value each other's time. Don't waste people's time. So let's take a short break, and when we come back, we shall expand more on the topic.